Welcome back to What She Said Sports Saturday edition. All right, technically this is breaking news. So I'm gonna give everybody a chance to join us because we was not expecting to go live at 6:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but here we are. Here we are. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the caption, you know what it's about. Technically, this is breaking news. And why is that? Because initially, when Stefon Diggs' video went viral, the yacht the yacht video, um, people kind of dismissed it, thinking he's single, he can party if he wants to. Uh, that was first. And then what came to light? Uh, it's not just about being on a yacht and partying with other people. Initially, people felt like the substance, the mysterious pink substance, which is not mysterious, but the mysterious pink substance is easily recognizable by many, right? Um, and one of the references to the mysterious pink substance is the rapper Diddy. Now, y'all know that Cassie just testified. Actually, I think she just gave birth. So she went through all of that pregnant. Um, that during the legal complaint by the rapper Lil Rod, a lot of us learned that there's this pink substance that it's reported that the rapper Diddy made a requirement for his staffers to carry on them at all times. And sometimes it was in a medicine bottle, sometimes it was in something else, but it's a pink substance. And on the party scene, coming out of Latin America and Europe to the United States, Miami, New York, the party scene, it has a name. The pink substance has a name, and it's called Tusi. Tusi is how it's spelled. Phonetically, the number two and the letter C used to, it's supposed to identify the level, I guess you could say the level of substances, like the FDA would classify. So like a classification level, A1A, 2C, 4B, whatever, right? But in fact, the pink mysterious substance is not 2C substances, which are known as psychedelics. Um, it's worse than that. Now, most people know it. If you're not on the party scene, you follow the Diddy allegations, you know that some people refer to it as pink snow, right? In the bag, you could see there wasn't a whole lot of it. There's not anything you would take in large amounts because it's dangerous. Um, to make it trendy, food coloring is added. And so is flavor like strawberry. So people don't know what they ingested, right? Um, what's problematic is we learned during the Diddy allegations and trial is that it's not necessarily just snow. It's a combination of things. And one of the things that it's a combination of kind of makes people question the intent of providing it to anybody. Ketamine. Ketamine can be given to animals, but it actually is an anesthetic. It's anesthesia. So you know what happens when you get surgery? Your mind and your body disassociate. That's the whole purpose of it. Why does your mind and body need to disassociate before surgery? So you can't feel what's happening to you. If you're an anesthesiologist, you know exactly what ketamine is. But it's not just ketamine. It's the fen, the oids, the snow, MDMA. Google it if you don't know what it is. And meth, plus ketamine. So like a cocktail, if you will. And we know from Cassie's allegations, 36 pages of them, that was used so she could endure some horrific things being done to her person. And over long-term use, not, just disassociation of mind and body while actively using, but long-term use, memory loss. Now, when people thought it was pink snow, they were like, oh, and analysts said this too, and so did some podcasters, but NFL analysts, sports analysts. Oh, a few games in, he wins, this will go away. This was about to get brushed right under the rug. And then the more and more it came out, see, now the NFL is in a precarious situation. Do I brush it under the rug? Well, now I can't because everybody knows what it is now. And people like, oh, they're going to have to prove that's what that is in the bag with that tool. I'm like, y'all know that's not that hard. This is a street substance that is popularly known in several countries. Europe, United States, Latin America, New York cities, Miami. They know exactly. They call it a party substance. They know exactly what it does. They know exactly what it's used for. It's no different than putting eye drops in somebody's drinks. Everybody know what the intent is with that. So not only is he gonna have to prove that that's not Tusi, he gonna have to prove that being a predator was not his intent with the 3 young women standing in front of him. This is problematic because, see, here's the thing. If he's no stranger to it because he happily pulled it out and one girl happily took it and opened it, and again, there's a cylinder type tool in it, and it's not a whole lot because, again, you can't consume a whole lot of this. If he has connections to the people that provide it, is he in possession? Is he distributing with the intent to do what? What else could it be? What is the NFL going to do? Because if it's pink candy, is he in violation of the NFL substance abuse policy? Or intent to prey on people and disassociate their mind from their bodies and have them endure some things maybe they know or don't know? That's different. And if it's happened before, y'all know somebody going to bring it up. So today, a couple of hours ago, it came out that Stefon Diggs getting cut is not out of the question. Why? Well, for one, he just got a $65 million contract with a $26 million guarantee. I'm sure this violates some type of morality clause if they can prove exactly what that is. And the associations and contact tracing all can help and aid in that. My question is, why did he not protect his bag? Why was he eager to impress and entice with something so risky that he could lose it all? That's what I don't understand. Because if you want to tell me that that's fun dip, you're going to have to prove that it's fun dip. Based on the nature of what Tusi is used for. To disassociate the mind from the body, to make people hallucinate but not feel. That's predatory. And if he goes back to the league and they try to find a way to sweep it under the rug, it's going to follow him. Because he happily pulled it right on out. I just shake my head because it seems if this is Tusi, you willing to throw it all away. For what? To impress, to entice, to prey, what? Are you a predator? These are all questions he's going to have to answer in addition to, are you committed to the NFL? Are you committed to the New England Patriots? Because You was on the yacht doing voluntary OTAs when you could have came on to work with us because you rehabbing an injury, an ACL injury. And we took a chance on you and gave you a $65 million contract, of which we gave you $26 million, and you didn't even bring yourself to voluntary OTAs. And now you on a boat, and we have to explain that either we investigated you and we found it to be nothing, and people are going to look at us, or why we chose not to investigate you and to retain you. And if this follows you and other people come out and say that you gave them this and you preyed on them and this turns out to be Tusi, what is your intent with these three young women standing in front of you? Clearly in a place that you didn't realize had cameras, or you was around people that didn't mind recording you. Your integrity, your character, and your bag all on the line. For what? To impress or to pray? And that's what he's going to have to answer. And now the NFL is in a precarious situation because what the hell are we going to do? Are we going to keep him and give him $26 million guaranteed and if somebody else come out a month later? Or are we going to go ahead and cut him? Because we can't risk 22 more lawsuits like we did with Deshaun Watson. Or maybe they can't. And how committed are you to the team? Because that's really what they're asking themselves right now. And that's really what they're going to use to back away if they decide to back away. And they're going to think about it because maybe they're going to wait and see if anybody else comes out, like with Deshaun Watson. And maybe if nobody else comes out, maybe he goes back out there. Maybe he plays, maybe he wins, and maybe it's not a problem until it happens again. Him or somebody else. So they're in a precarious situation because it's not just pink snow. You essentially offering somebody anesthesia to disassociate their mind from their body and make them hallucinate. Why? So that's where we are. It's sad because there's so many other things you could be doing. There's so many other things you could be doing to not even end up in the situation where you have to prove if you're a predator, if that's Tusi, and if you committed to the NFL. You could have been at voluntary OTAs. You could have been rehabbing your ACL. You could have been at a nice dinner with your girlfriend. Getting ready for the voluntary part that's coming up for veterans. So all these questions now out here because of poor choices. I wouldn't even say naivete because if you on anything referred to as a yacht, they have cameras. Why? Because these yacht companies know people rent their boats and things happen. Part of the Diddy case is some things took place on a yacht where his son was concerned with the actual crew. These people have to have insurance, liability at that. So wait, we need to see what's going on out here. So maybe the security cameras caught it, and when they were reviewing it to see if anything foul happened so that they could protect themselves from litigation, they caught that on camera and they're like, hey, before this come up, this is the problem. Because 2C is illegal. I think the 2C is worse than the pink can, the pink coat. It is. Who offers people anesthesia on the street? What is your goal? What is your intent? Oh, you're a predator. So now you got to prove all of these things when you could have just went to dinner, rehabbed your injury, or went to OTAs to prove you committed to the team. And now nobody's sure of you as to who you were 24 hours ago. This gonna follow him. So, it's one of those things. I saw a podcaster say, oh, he's single. He can enjoy himself. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. No, he does not have to go to voluntary OTAs. But what you can't get caught with after an injury, not going to voluntary OTAs, is a pink substance that closely resembles, and with the tool attached, an illicit substance with 5 other substances in it called Tusi, which is used to prey on individuals and disassociate their minds from their bodies. So you can enjoy your money all kind of ways, but why enjoy your money in a way that makes your employer question your commitment to the point that they might have to cut you, and then you lose your bag, your generational wealth. For what? So you can enjoy yourself, you can be single, you can do whatever you want to do, but eventually your choices that you make, you're going to have to answer to somebody else. And now he got to prove that that's not what it was. This not Tusi. I was not about to prey on these 3 young women in swimsuits who I may or may not know. I was not about to do what Diddy did to Cassie. I am committed to the NFL. I'm a veteran. I didn't have to go to the voluntary OTAs. I'm rich. I can do what I want to. But when you bring out a substance that closely mimics an illicit substance that is illegal, you have violated, one, possibly the NFL's drug policy. That's your problem with your employer. And 2, now you might have some bigger legal questions about your predatory potential. Is it worth it? For temporary what? Is it worth it? No. There's so many other things you could be doing other than putting yourself in these situations. Now that you got to prove your worth and that you're not a predator. Good evening, Juanita. How you doing? They are going to call it pink cake frosting. That's what they're going to have to call it. Then he's going to have to prove it. It depends on who asks the question. Because, yes, the NFL has the right to investigate, but does anybody else want to investigate? Sometimes they hang back and see, well, let me see how many other people come forward. Then they already went down this road with Deshaun Watson. So that might be what it is. Did he get cut? No, it just came out a few hours ago that it's not off the table that he could get cut. Good afternoon, Salafi, thank you. The Stefon Diggs been out of control for a while now. Just not thinking. That's crazy. That's just crazy. I mean, it's one thing, and clearly other people have violated the substance abuse policy and still have their jobs. But when it goes from pink snow or pink cake frosting, as somebody just said, to ketamine, anesthesia, giving people on the street anesthesia, which disassociates their mind from their body, and Diddy is clearly on trial for some of these types of behaviors every day in front of our eyes for predatory behavior, are you a predator? That's worse than violating the substance abuse policy. Thank you for that, Chris. It says some of these guys continue to make poor decisions and throw their opportunities and money away. Right? I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe he thought, well, 26 million of his guaranteed, so the hell with it. But now they questioning what? Because see, don't think they're not gonna try to figure out how to protect themselves from another 22 civil lawsuits that could crop up. Don't think they're not gonna try to figure out how to get out of this guaranteed contract. They might have a morality clause. But my point is, with all the things that you could be doing, why would you put yourself in a situation that now you have to answer what your intent was with what is potentially Tusi, which is used in a predatory manner, and have multiple illegal substances in it, multiple, all the worst ones. He did nothing wrong. Okay, he's gonna have to prove it. Understand that. He's gonna have to prove it. If that's how you look at life, you ain't making no good decisions either, boo. Is this Cardi B new man? I guess it is. They said his girlfriend was on the boat, but we didn't see her, so I don't know. I don't even know if she could be. I don't even know how that goes. So yeah. Hey, Miss Pamela. Hey, Christy says, yes, they can enjoy their money. The key is not to put yourself in a position to give the perception, right? And you out here giving people the impression that you following in Diddy footsteps. That's the message. You think people looked at that and don't know what it is? Yeah. But see, because of the name that people give it, it's like, oh, that's a substance abuse violation. If he can win, it's like, oh, no. And I'm sure they got informed real quickly that that's not what that is. That's no different, and probably 10 times worse than putting eye drops in somebody's drink. They had one article that said NFL star Stefon Diggs offers a mysterious pink substance to a gaggle of women. Now I saw three. I saw three. But maybe there's more and we can't see them on camera. But that's the kind of headlines that are coming out. That's not what you want for your reputation. And you surely don't want the pink substance to get identified and then the headline changes to NFL star Stefon Diggs captured on video offering Tusi to a gaggle of women. Because what is that? It's predatory behavior. All the things you could be doing. And now the NFL want to know if you committed. Oh, yes, OTAs was voluntary. But this what you choose to do instead of come and get better because you just got an injury? Yeah, they're going to look at it like that. Any employer would. Some have the skills, but are very immature in conducting themselves like responsible young adults. Right. And that's so sad. They can release him. He's not a must-have wide receiver. Too many hungry wide receivers want his spot. That's facts. And when it came out a few hours ago that the NFL is essentially saying insiders are saying that it's not off the question that he can get cut. Y'all know why? Because that ain't pink candy. That ain't pink cake frosting. That likely has anesthesia in it. And it's a bunch of scantily clad women in front of you, and you took it out and gave it to them. What was you going to do with all three of them? These are not situations you want to put yourself or your employer in. Because now the bag is on the line. You let one woman who has been through it at one of these parties, because that was not the first, come out and say anything. If she even just whisper his name in pink substance, whether it's Tusi or not, and she says that it has the same effect that Tusi did and she don't know what happened 3 days later, understand. They're going to see another Deshaun Watson scandal popping up and they're going to run like hell. So they trying to figure out what to do because this ain't pink cake frosting. Anybody in law enforcement know exactly what that is. And the tool that was used in it is so how you could consume it. And it was not paper. It's too many other things you could be doing. So who said that? Warriors for Life said that they could release him. Yeah, because he's not a must-have. And he rehabbing an injury. See, to me, when you're coming back off an injury and somebody like, hey, I'm going to give you $65 million and $26 million of it is guaranteed, I'm like, hey, don't even step on my foot. I'm going to be at home. I'm going to rehab this foot, and I want to get back out here so I can get to the next bag. But no, I'm out here when everybody's coming back and showing, voluntary OTAs mean, let me see who's committed. That's exactly what it means. You don't have to show up. You don't have to show up at all. I saw Lamar Jackson show up. Y'all saw every quarterback for Cleveland that's a vet show up. They didn't have to be out there. That's how the league is looking at who's committed and who's not. There were people calling out Myles Garrett because he was in Tokyo shopping. Now, mind you, he was just buying things. But they are looking at that. We just gave you a fully guaranteed contract, and you can't even come over here and get ready early with everybody else. Maybe he feel like it don't matter. I got the bag now. These players in the NFL have complicated relationships. I would definitely say that. But this not good. You don't have to try to say it's not what it is and hope don't nobody else come back and say, oh, yeah, that's it. And I was there. And maybe not on this boat, but another. And I don't know why these people getting on these yachts thinking that don't nobody know what's going on. These people have to protect themselves from somebody coming back and said, this happened to me on your yacht and I won $400 million. That's why they have cameras. It said pink cake frosting is the subject. And no, he's not talking about the movie Tusi. A gaggle sounds like it's a group of, when they said that, it was like NFL star Stefon Diggs seeing somebody's pink substance with a gaggle of women. I was like, I saw three. I use the word gaggle, but I mean a hell of a lot. Like maybe like 30, 40, 50, 100. I don't know. A gaggle of money is more than $3. So, but he put himself in that situation. And yeah, there are people that want to, you got to understand this. There are people that's going to always try to justify poor decision making. You know why? Because they in themselves, in their personal lives, don't want to be held accountable. And see, that's the problem. When you have people around you that is just yes people or let you risk it. Because think about it. Most of these guys, when they come into the league, what do you see? An entourage. Then you see security. Why? To protect themselves. So you got security to protect yourself, but then you put yourself in harm's way where it's not your physical person, but you're not thinking, this is my generational wealth. They don't value it. That's the only reason why they keep risking it over and over and over, which is why you keep hearing the stats about how many NFL players go broke. I don't understand. It seems like their mind is disassociated because you're not stopping to think that this first contract can set you up for the rest of the life if you invest it. But I heard Chad Ochocinco say how some players live season to season with the money. And that before they get back to that first game check, they ran out of money. He said it happened to him once. He said it happened one time and it would never happen again. And y'all see how frugal he is. He said he wear fake jewelry. He don't mind telling people because who is he trying to impress? He's Chad Ochocinco. So that was my question when I first saw this, and when people said it was pink cake frosting that resembles snow. And then everybody on the NFL side that were connected, say like the analyst was saying, oh, yeah, if he play good, it'll be fine. But now everybody is backpedaling. Why? Because maybe they just figured out what we learned when we read the Diddy allegations. When his staff was required, everybody was required to keep that on their person. For what? It was even in a medicine bottle to mask it. That's what the food coloring is for. And that's why sometimes it tastes like strawberry. So some people don't know what it is they are ingesting. It's predatory. With all the things you could be doing. You even had a girlfriend. Could have been at dinner. Hey, you could have been on a boat. A lot of people go on boats and hang out, but I don't know why they think there's no cameras on these boats. These boats got to have insurance. Insurance means I got to know what's going on before I get sued. And I don't understand that. But that's why he in the situation he in, because he didn't stop to protect. Well, you know what? I'm going to be on this boat, but you know what? I got to get back. And just in case something happens, I'm going to go ahead on and sit down and eat dinner with my girlfriend. And, that's it. Because if that's what he would, that's what he was caught doing on the boat, we probably wouldn't know anything about this. This is being reported everywhere. This actually knocked Travis Hunter off the front pages. Might be back next week, but the point is this story has taken over because just a few hours ago, now we see, oh, it's not harmful. Oh, you know what? It's not off the table. He could be cut. Yes, they can investigate. Some other people could investigate. People in Miami, people in Homeland Security. That's what multiple illegal substances draw attention to. Not the FDA, but like the ATF and this, that, and the other. And, you don't want all that. A gaggle sounds like a group of, it's just a group of, it's just a lot. Definitely not a good look. No, it's not a good look. Got to make smarter decisions. And, people, it's just amazing to me how people like, he's single. What does that have to do with looking like a predator? Nothing. That's because they didn't know what it was. And it actually said they didn't know what it was. And when people said it was pink cake frosting, they were like, like, that's okay. I'm like, that violates the NFL substance abuse policy. And now that they know it's not that, and you're hearing it's not off the table, he could be cut because they have figured out that is a predatory substance. And that's why it has so many other things in it. And that's why it's not a bag this size. That's why it's not a gaggle of it. That's why it's not a gaggle of it. Because it's a lot. It's potent. It's just enough. So imagine you have that in your car. You get pulled over. And the police are like this, and they got the canines with them. And they're like, I'm going to need you to come with me. Yeah, possession of several things that make up that one thing with food coloring and flavoring to mask what it really is. So, what was your intent if you wanted to mask it? Yeah, piss poor decisions. So it's just kind of crazy. It just makes you wonder. How you doing, Marlon? How you doing? Apologies for being late. We early. We early. I actually go live at 9:30 and we will be back. But I just had to come on because I was like, I don't understand why these guys don't protect themselves. Like, why you don't protect the generational wealth? When you was going to the league, when you was going into the draft, all you wanted to do was get the bag. So why you don't protect it? That's what I don't understand. I'm like, that's not rational. Did something happen to you in the NFL where your brain was disassociated from your body, and then suddenly you just left yourself exposed for all sorts of kind of stuff, including jail or to be broken homeless? I don't understand it. You wanted the bag before the draft. You got the bag. That's your generational wealth. And now you injured. You get another opportunity. You get guaranteed money, and now you out here with a substance used by predators, masking what it tastes like, masking what it looks like, so you could do what? Take advantage of somebody? You got to prove that. And let's see if the NFL cover for them. So now the cat is out of the bag, Salafi. Yup, it is. It is. It is. It really is. And it's just sad because it's so many things you could be doing. It's so many things you could be doing. It's just crazy to me. I just don't, you know. Mm-mm. You can't say you were set up. You can't say you were set up. You can't say you were set up at all. You can't say you were set up because that could probably is what's coming next. You can say you don't know what's in it, and you can hope that nobody else point out that you knew exactly what was in it. People can prove intent all the time. So it's just sad, and it's just sad, and it's just over and over and over and over and over. These guys not protecting themselves, just looking at it as generational wealth before the draft, securing the bag, and just treating it like it's just Kleenex tissue paper that you can just flush down the toilet and, oh, I'm gonna get some more. Their reputation's being tarnished. Now this one look like a predator. It says some of these players say that making the NFL is a dream, but once they get there, then it just goes stupid. See, that's what I don't understand. I'm like, when did this happen? When did this happen? I remember Travis Hunter saying he wanted to go first. I don't know why he wanted to go first, but he wanted to go first. But he didn't protect himself either. In fact, these two situations, I just want y'all to know, on the surface, they are different. On the surface, they are different. We see Stefon Diggs going viral on the boat with this pink substance, and according to one publication out of New York, a gaggle of women. And then we have the young Travis Hunter, the rookie, not the vet. Stefon is a vet. We have a rookie who's also a wide receiver. Balling out in camp. Saw some very, very, very good footage of him balling out at camp. Made it to the bag, something he wanted to do, and he wanted to be first. But he didn't protect himself either, just like Stefon did. Same but different. Same concept. The big picture is you didn't protect your generational wealth, which is the only reason you want to really get there so much. You can play football outside. You can play football anywhere. You can play at the YMCA if you want to, but you wanted to make it to the league because of the generational wealth that comes with it. You would be technically set for life. And if you went first, you would make the most money, but you don't protect it. You don't protect yourself. You just essentially setting yourself up to be the next statistic of an NFL player going broke. And yeah, right now it looked like a lot of money, but understand, $30 million in the NFL technically is 15 to 18 after you pay taxes. And then if you out here renting yachts and buying $750 million vehicles, that's just the beginning. That means you have no end in sight. That means you down for Birkins. Stefon Diggs got 3 women in front of him. That's expensive. One way or the other. Normally, when you have an odd number, somebody gonna get jealous and cause some problems. Same but different. Stefon Diggs nor Travis Hunter protected the bag that they all worked so hard for and so desperately wanted. I don't understand it. It's people out here who do more with less, who could win the lottery for $2 million and flip it into 8 or 9. Or like Jay-Z told us, you buy one art painted and 3 years later, I have $500,000. There's so many other things you could be doing instead of trying to entice women with what you have to offer. For what? So they could. I was at Stefon Diggs' party. Clout. I went the #1 player in the draft. Clout. And clout does not equate to love. Somebody living with you does not mean they love you. Somebody partying with you on the boat does not mean they love you. And if you know you don't love them, then why would you risk it all to entice them with something that could get you locked up, cut from the team, bag gone? Your generational wealth just dissipates. And you can't live like you lived no more. Didn't Cam Newton tell us he can't take care of his kids like he did when he was in the NFL? That money goes fast. So why not protect it out the gates and all the way through? Why put yourself in situations where people can exploit you for your money or exploit you for your fame? It seems it's more of a priority to impress and entice with the money, the fame, the clout, the material things, than it is to protect the generational wealth. Maybe that's called being short-sighted, because all you see is right now. You're not making decisions for the future. But all you want to do is get to the bag, but you don't protect it. Same but different. It says some of these players say that making the NFL is a dream, but once they get there, they just go down. Yep, I agree. Just tapping in. I'm late. Isaiah, you're not late. We early. we early. We early. Somebody fill Isaiah in. We started off talking about the precarious situation following Stefon Diggs' viral yacht video that the NFL is in, because initially people were going to be dismissive of what people are referring to as pink cake frosting, a street substance known as 2C. And it actually does not contain any 2C level substances. It's actually worse than that. It's actually all the worst ones for the most part, all together, masked by food coloring for the pink color and food flavoring to give it a taste so you don't know what's going on. So it's easier maybe to ingest or pass off to somebody else. Every generation has something like this. At one point, it was eye drops used to prey on people. So now we're talking about how Stefon Diggs, he didn't have to go to voluntary OTAs even after rehabbing an injury. But he did have $26 million guaranteed on the line, and I'm sure that has everything to do with performance and how now when people realize it's not pink cake frosting, but something more dangerous and has implications of predatory behavior, because we see it every day played out with Diddy on trial. Nobody wants to be associated and likened to Diddy right now. Definitely not for a pink substance that all of his staff was required to carry. And we're just sitting here pondering why on earth it is that Stefon Diggs and Travis Hunter did not protect their generational wealth. All that their situations are different. It's the same, but it's different. The big picture, they did not protect their generational wealth at all. And it seemed more important to impress and entice with what they could provide when it comes to women. None of which are guaranteed to be a part of their lives and look after them and love them forever. It's only a promise. And where Stefon is concerned, it's three of them. And the internet going around, publication out of New York saying it's a gaggle. So that makes you think it's some people on camera that we can't see. So I don't know. But he put himself in a horrible situation. And I pointed out that the only people that think this is okay, whether it's because he's single or whether it's because a black man have a lot of money, why can't a black man enjoy himself? You can. But do you necessarily have to put yourself in a situation where now you have to prove your commitment to the NFL because now they're questioning it? Because now they're probably like, I don't want to go through another Deshaun Watson scandal. They're probably waiting to see if another one gonna come out. And then you could have been at voluntary OTAs with the rest of the people who are committed to the team. You could have been a lot of places doing a lot of things. And not, according to a New York publication, trying to entice women, a gaggle of women, with a mysterious pink substance that closely mimics the popular illicit and illegal street substance known as Tusi. Something alleged against the rapper Diddy for predatory behavior. So, that's just is what it is. It's like, we watch these guys play and then we watch these things play out. And we're just like, okay, another one. Another one. Like, is there something in the food? That's the question. Is there something in the food? Something that they are bigger than life and nothing can happen to them. Yeah, Tina, I can see that. I'm invincible. I can see that because clearly some thought they were going to have money forever. So, yeah, I can see that. I think that's called being short-sighted or narrow-minded. You're not looking at the big picture. Like I said, the big picture is Stefon and Travis Hunter are the same situation. They didn't protect their generational wealth. That's the big picture. Yeah, it's different how it went down, but ultimately, poor decision making left both of them exposed to losing their generational wealth now or in the future. And a whole lot of things. Not protecting their families. I don't know. Stefon might be single, but maybe he pay his mama house note. If he get cut from the team and go broke, he can't help her. You got to protect your family too. And it seems to me that maybe in the NFL, there's a whole lot of individualism. It seems like the guys aren't expected to support each other off the field. Maybe hold each other accountable. Maybe be like, hey man, they might look at you funny, if something go down while you in Miami on the boat with them girls, because you just injured yourself. It seemed like they want them to be like, that's that fool. I'm out. He been wild. I can see it. Because after what happened to Shador, you think they wanted any of them to come out and say that was racist? No, they wanted them all to be concerned about their own bag that they're trying to get. And then we see when you get to veteran status, and it's just one incident. There's lots of other ones. This one and the one in Minnesota that happened, the same thing. And then after it happened, there were guys worried about losing their marriages, losing their girlfriends, losing their houses, their cars, and half of their net worth. But you didn't think about it before because it took place on a boat. Boats have cameras. They have to have insurance for liability. So I'm going to have to watch those cameras and make sure I'm in the clear and nobody can come back and say somebody gave me something that it was supposed to be candy, but it's anesthesia and MDM and meth and the oids, the oak. So many other things you could be doing. Why use the money and the fame and the clout for illicit behavior? Why let somebody attach themselves to you to make you a means to an end? And in both cases, you don't protect yourself. You don't protect your generation. Well, you don't protect your families. Not from scandal, not from financial ruin. I read the book called Pitfalls and Traps, and it explains situations just like this in sports. Oh, I'm going to have to look that one up, Marlon. Email that to me. Is that the title? Because that's just mind-boggling. That's just crazy. Yeah, it says, do you really want to know the real reason? Well, yeah, that's why we here talking. Dr. TRR, tell us. That's what the chat is for. Tell us, please. We love to know because it's not making no sense. That boy Zion Williamson lost his mind. He won't have any money when he's done with the NBA at the rate he's going. And the crazy part is when I was getting ready for this live stream, he popped up on the front page about something in the girl Mariah. I'm like, I didn't even read that because that's just been going on and on. It's like they under a spell. Wake up. Wake up. And nobody around. Either they don't, I guess they don't listen. And that's probably a lot of it. Arrogance. They don't listen. I think I know everything. The statistics speak for themselves. When most people win a big lottery, broke in 7 weeks. That's true, because I watched one of those shows, What Happened to Lottery Winners. They all go broke, and somehow it involves a woman. Let me tell y'all two of these stories. One in particular, I feel like he was in one of the Carolinas, so north or south. He won a lottery, and he bought it at a convenience store. So he went back up there and gave the woman that worked at the counter some money. That's not bad. But then they said like every week he would take a briefcase full of cash up to a dope place and walk in there like Mr. Big. And eventually he did that so much, everybody knew who he was coming through the door, knew what he had in the briefcase. He got jumped. He sure did. Jumped and robbed. And then he went broke. Another guy ended up he won the lottery. He had a girlfriend. Guess what happened? He went missing. Turns out she buried him 6 feet in the ground so she could keep the money for herself. So it can be a curse. I just don't understand why you don't protect yourself. With all of the tools out there, you don't protect yourself. You don't protect your family. Like the guys on the boat in Minnesota. I'm like, now y'all worried about your wives and your girlfriends and she finna take half my house? Well, yeah. And then she would deserve it at that moment. Embarrassing them. The integrity. Now you look stupid. Stefon Diggs looks like a predator until he can probably prove to people and somebody that that's not Tusi. And hopefully nobody else come out and say, yeah, this happened to me. Whether it's true or not. That's what you open yourself up to. Now he got to prove that, yeah, the NFL is a priority. Now they got to want to be bothered with it. Because it could be another 22 civil lawsuits coming out here. They don't know. Is it worth it to keep him and pay him this guaranteed money after this when we could be exposed to what? It's too many hungry wide receivers out here. It was just said in the chat. Trav's also a wide receiver. Excellent on the field. But also did not protect himself. And did not listen. So I think thinking you know everything, choosing not to listen, being willfully ignorant, it's not naivete, it's arrogance. Willful ignorance is arrogance. Nicolas Cage movie. What movie is that? Young men, a girl. Isaiah said, young men and a girl, I guess BBWs, and a smile. New edition. Yep. 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 It said he won the lottery, shared with a waitress, and the wife hit the roof and tried to break him. Oh, okay. You talking about one of the that sounds like somebody else, but it could be somebody else. Are you talking about a Nicolas Cage movie, or are you talking about reality? What I was talking about in Carolina? Let me know. Isaiah said, "Lord knows." Ant-Man said the same thing. Some people say that I guess he can't seem to get past the hurdle in I guess the finals or something like that. Did he make it? Did they make it to the finals or something like that? I thought it was OKC and somebody. I don't know. I guess I'm not paying attention. But they say he can't get past the finals because he chooses to abandon his children. And a story just popped up about him, about one of his exes saying that she broke, and I guess she got to go back for more money or something. I don't know. Again, I wasn't paying attention, but I saw the headline. I'm like, whatever. That's the things that you invite yourself with. And sometimes people think they taking advantage of other people, but they the ones get taken advantage of because you have more to lose. In the case of Anthony Edwards, he had more to lose than the girl that has a baby with Lil Baby. She had everything to gain. Child support from a rapper and from a ball player. And we talked about how when we talked about Anthony Edwards, what? That rapper baby mamas are moving on to who? Athletes. And they say NBA players are the easiest targets. I think they're the easiest targets because they got the most money. They make more money than NFL players. And they spend it like that. And their contracts are guaranteed. So while they say they are easier targets, and there are two guys rumored to have played against each other, and they got the same baby mama. And once rapper baby mama saw that that's where the money going in the rap industry is in the toilet, and they not making money like that, and it's guaranteed, and they like, I can get this for 18 years? Yeah. Drell will be in her 50s by the time she stops receiving child support. 50s. And I think they might not be together anymore. So I don't know. I know in Travis's case, he's only 25. I don't know, 22. And I don't know how old Stefon Diggs is. But I will tell you that Travis Hunter made decisions like somebody whose frontal lobe is not fully developed, which means he's under the age of 25. And that's facts. There's science to that. That's how he made, because that's the place where the good decision making and impulse and this, that, and the other comes from. I don't know how old Stefon Diggs is, but I know he's a veteran. And I know he has just put himself and the NFL in a precarious situation because that's not pink cake frosting. So, generational wealth on the line after it being your dream, since you probably could put on pads, shoulder pads, and a helmet, and always wanting to get there, and then you get the bag and you just don't protect it. What do you expect to happen? What do you expect to happen if you don't protect generational wealth? And here's what I mean by that. You have families. You have families. Some have wives, some have children, some have grandparents, some have moms, dads, aunties, people that they are helping out. Hey, you know what? Then your cousin might work for you. Your brother might work for you. Yeah, that's good. You put them on the payroll. But if you're not getting paid no more, they're not on your payroll. It's okay to help family, and it's okay to put them to work and give them a title and for them to actually watch your back. But are you watching theirs when you caught on a yacht with a mysterious pink substance that closely mimics an illicit street substance that the rapper Diddy, who's on trial, is facing allegations of every day after Cass's testimony for predatory behavior? And if you got caught with that on the street and they tested it and they found 5 other illicit substances, that's a lot of charges there. And you're supposed to be on a different level. You're supposed to be on a level where you got bodyguards protecting you, but you the one out here putting yourself in harm's way. So, that is what it is. So, yeah, technically it was breaking news only because they seem to be walking back. Oh, with a few wins, that'll be fine. He'll just be fine. And now that it's associated with closely mimics Tusi, Stefon Diggs being cut is not off the table. So that was the breaking news because that's huge. That's huge because of what Tusi is and what it's typically used for. It's like essentially walking up to somebody on the street and giving them anesthesia, an anesthetic. Why would you do that? All ladies have to do now is they say gave them something for the bag. Right. And see what I'm saying? What you say, here's the thing. Not just those three. Because I'm sure this is not his first party he's attended that he's been to in the NFL. You see what I'm saying? This is what this exposes you to. Other people coming out and saying, I know exactly what that is because he gave it to me at a party and this is exactly what happened. And all he had to do is be at the party because now you got to prove a negative. You know how hard that is? That is hard. Because if somebody say, yeah, well, he was at the party, if his phone pops and pings that he was at the party, that's it. Now you got to prove that you didn't do exactly what she said, and who knows that part? Just like those three, the gaggle, because we didn't see a gaggle, we saw three, but now it was with a gaggle of women. You got to fight that off. Because what was you thinking? What was your intent? And don't let them put two and two together and figure out exactly what that is. And when they realize that's the same thing that Diddy required his staff to carry around, allegedly, oh, they're going to have a field day with it. They're going to have a field day with it. Because they're going to start making comparisons to his behavior, his off the field behavior, and Diddy's behavior. And we know Diddy is on trial. There's a whole lot of things you could be doing. And it doesn't seem to be protecting yourself, your generational wealth, your reputation, your place in the NFL, the dream that you once had. It just seemed like you're willing to just let it all go up in smoke. And I just don't get it. I'm like, are they poisoning your food? Because you're not making good decisions. And I know Stefon Diggs is older than Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter at least has the frontal lobe not being fully developed to stand behind. Not Stefon Diggs. So, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things that is mind-boggling. I would say it's sad, but it keeps happening. So I don't know how you feel sorry for people when it's something like that just keeps happening over and over and over. But you do end up shaking your head as if I don't know what to tell you. Because you clearly should have known better. They might as well go outside without bodyguards. It's essentially the same thing. It's essentially the same thing. Just going outside with a bodyguard and let somebody rob you because you are essentially picking and choosing who you want to rob you. That's the same thing. I remember seeing a photo of Kodak Black in the streets in Atlanta, downtown, just off Peachtree. In fact, between West Peachtree and Piedmont, just sitting in the middle of the street with a styrofoam container with food, with jewelry all over himself. And you live in Atlanta, how did he escape that? Because the people that were starting to surround him could have done one or two things. They could have preyed on him and stole his jewelry and ran his pockets. And he would have never known. Because I don't think he knew he was sitting in the middle of the street with his jewelry on, eating food out of styrofoam container with the resources he has access to. But they didn't. But they did film him. Clout, likes, clicks, views. Look what I ran into. But they did not rob him. That's huge in the city of Atlanta, especially downtown. So they picking and choosing. I have security, so just anybody don't rob me. But they're not protecting themselves, their generational wealth, their reputations, their careers. Oh, I'm gonna pick you. You can ruin me. You can steal all my money. You can exploit me for clout. You can use me as a means to an end. You could get me locked up. That's what they doing. Same thing. So that's it, guys. We're gonna get out of here. We'll be back tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what we're talking about, but we're gonna figure it out. I already started studying Joe Gilliam. Very interesting. Okay, I will tell y'all this tidbit. All right, so Joe Gilliam apparently lives in Nashville or went to Tennessee State from Nashville. Like I said, I'm learning. But recently I was studying and he popped up with the number 17 jersey on at Tennessee State. And there's lots of videos about people talking about his journey in NFL. And just a little bit, I know this is going to be good. This is going to be good. I think out of everybody that we talked about, I think Vince Young, Terrell Pryor, and Joe Gilliam, and Warren Moon, Doug Williams, Tyrod Taylor, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So y'all stay tuned for Joe Gilliam. This is a very interesting story. A very interesting story. And it's not, it seemed like it happened before Doug Williams, but you know, this is a very interesting story. And you talk about being done wrong. Uh yeah. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be back tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do have some more studying to do. And dinner. So I'll be back at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for more What She Said Sports. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. This was awesome. Unfortunately, it just seems to be a story that's repetitive and it plays out over and over and over and over. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm gonna see y'all later. Thank you so much. Oh, okay. Okay, Isaiah. Thank you so much. There you go. You got it. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. So we're gonna see y'all later. Thank you so much. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you for protecting the chat. I appreciate you.